hanging fruit. Are you guys getting that? Too many of us are reaching for the highest hanging fruit. The tree hasn't even fruited yet. So you're working too hard, thinking that your program, your product, your service is the promised land. The truth is that you have to start giving them something that can fulfill their desires or complete their pain or heal their pain. But you're trying to go, that's where I think what gets twisted when we say, Stephen Covey says, begin with the end in mind. Nicole also has it in her slides. Don't get that twisted. See, begin with the end in mind. The most important word is begin, not the end. And too many of us focus on the end. If you begin, which in a funnel, you guys know what a funnel is, right? Sales funnel, marketing funnel. The lead magnet is what most of you are not doing. We talked about that earlier, right? Or you're not doing it as effectively as you'd like to be. So I'm going to do a quick poll. This is important. And I'm going to want you to stand up when we go and I point at you. And I want you to pick the program that you really want to sell. If you do not have one, listen tomorrow. Just say, I don't have one, and we're going to move on. Okay? But I actually want you to list them. Okay? So, go. Okay. Don't have one. Don't have one. Bankruptcy program. Sorry? Okay.
Unleash your focus. Unleash.
Read.
Taking the reins.
Taking the reins. Transformation.
Immigration.
Immigration.
Success without fear.
Success without fear. Discovering new possibilities. Don't have one.
Right.
Don't have one. Here you go, Jennifer. Financial Achievers Blueprint. Okay.
Preparing for college.
Preparing for college. Seller process. Seller process. Deborah. How to raise successful children. Be brilliant.
Dealing with anxiety around sleep.
Dealing with anxiety around sleep.
My journey back to me.
My journey back to me.
Monetize your magic.
Monetize your magic.
Own your evolution.
Own your evolution. Okay, great. Did I cover everyone? Okay. How many people said they don't have a program yet? Raise your hand. 1, 2, 3. 3 people. Okay, great. But you have a program in mind.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a program. What's your program in mind? Create the life you want. Arise, it's time to shine. Everybody name theirs? Okay. So that's your end. Now you got your end. Now remember what Nicole said. That might not be the end, the end, the end. Circular ends up creating a retention relationship. Remember we talked about acquisition versus retention. I have another theory, which I think is congruent with what Nicole said. And sometimes you do want to release people. Because if your entire strategy is to get them to a place, and then you want to keep bringing those people on, and then you want them to exit, that's my business model, to be honest with you. I do have basically a program that you can keep going in because it's for activators, for people who don't know how to implement. But basically, I don't want to do one-on-one. I don't want to do VIP days anymore. I have to, I'm building a software company. I've got a lot of things that I want to do. So my goal is to make sure they're completed. And I realize that people always need implementation and they always need accountability. That's why I created that. So that's kind of my circular, but I'm never going to upgrade them to work with me one-on-one. So there are 2 ways you can go about it. I just want to be clear. Okay? Now, the lead magnet, these are all great. Okay? But I didn't hear one person tell me something that's making me jump up and down. And because as a marketer, I really smell greatness in copy. I smell greatness. I can smell where money is, and right now, y'all are playing vanilla. Y'all are in the vanilla zone. I need we're creating Sundays here, right? And I'm not saying that to offend Do you know how many people are selling transformation? Do you know how many people are success without fear? How many people are doing how to raise successful children? There are a lot of people. So what I'm looking for is, what's that special thing that you do? There are other immigration attorneys.
I was going to say to take that out, so the word that came out, and it has nothing, there's no,
Right.
it's not, it's a subject.
Right, and this is,
Take that one out. I mean, it's not.
well, it's okay. And again, I just want y'all to know there is no shame around any of the answers. I didn't set y'all up to be, humiliated or shamed, okay, please. Because here's the thing with marketing, most people aren't good at copy. It's a skill. Most copywriters for ad agencies, which is where I started my career, they're six-figure earners. Like easy, multiple six-figure in a job. Because their job is to help people make money. So please don't, again, feel any shame around it. The question is, back to what you just went through with Nicole, how can you create something out of this that gives them that appetizer? Okay? But it's more than an appetizer. It's your money ball. Like, your lead magnet is your money ball. It really is. And we focus so much on building product that we never get enough data, because the lead magnet provides you data. It gives you certainty. Because even if the lead magnet, it could fall on deaf ears again. Maybe it doesn't work. That's all right. Bye, moving on. Because lead magnets are actually easy to create. But we resist it because we're not good at marketing. But let me show you the steps, okay? You guys are going to have to write this down because it's not in your workbook. But I've been collecting back there as I've been listening to the group what you guys need. Okay, is that fair? Like, I'm gonna create things that I feel you need right now. All right. I kind of do need a mic on me if that's possible, because I was going to use this as a temporary solution. Get the real one. All right. So let me show you the process of the funnel first, before we even get into building a lead magnet. Okay? Can you guys still hear me? I gotta get coaching from Nicole because I try to keep it next to my mom too. I'm always like dropping in. So, even before the lead magnet, what do you need? You need people to come to the lead magnet. How do you get people to come to the lead magnet? So one of two ways. Well, three ways. Okay? Ads, organic, which means organic social posting, which you guys are creating, or you have a social media manager or somebody on your team. Okay? Or organic also looks like emailing people. But of course, if you don't have a big list, right, that's not as effective, but you should do it anyway. I don't care if you got 7 people on your list. Every single time, you should do it. And how do you do it? Is the third way to get more people is shares. So those are 3 ways that you can get people. So shares are asking people to share it. Maybe even building an incentive for them to share it. Right? In your emails or your organic posts. So, and it's as simple as saying something like, if you're a mom who wants to get out of overwhelm and create a business, share this with 2 moms that you know. Okay? See, it's the law of reciprocity. Law of reciprocity is a real law in business. Okay? You understand the psyche of your seeker. People love it to help. They want to help. They're not going to do it every time because it does depend on what's above the ask. If you ask them to share above that, you owe them something dope. You owe them something valuable. You owe them something that's worth sharing. Okay? The organic path and the share path will take longer than the ad path. The ad path requires what?
Money.
It requires a budget. Okay? So, if you haven't been, I tell a lot of new business owners this, or reforming business owners, people are doing a different thing, like a lot of you are, that if you haven't been working out this muscle at all, then you're already behind. So who on a regular basis posts stuff about themselves or their business? 1, 2. Okay, good. Now it's time, then you're ready for the ad game. Now, I also say this, if you want to go all in, which I highly recommend, you really want to shorten the length of time, start doing ads. Now, test small data sets of ads, meaning, I'm going to show you money too in a minute, okay, how you can monetize this, what the formula is. But I'm just going to be straight with you. Spend $200 a month on ads to start. It's worth it. Because you want to get people into your list, you got to, how do you think other companies are doing it? Advertising is all around them. They're constantly asking you to go into their store or go into their, whatever. It works for brick and mortar or it works for online, yes. I think Facebook ads right now has the most legs in terms of online ad spend, meaning I'm finding the highest ROI right now on Facebook ads. Instagram, still unproven. You can do Instagram ads, waste of money for as far as I want to wait until they really get better at it. They should use Facebook owns them now because Facebook has perfected the formula. So I like to go with the clear bet. Remember, let's not throw spaghetti at the wall. Let's go with the 60%. I like the law of the many in terms of making my marketing budget go as far as possible. Okay? So if you're serious about your business, I want you guys to start spending $200 a minimum a month. Then, this is what? Your lead magnet. And I'm going to go over 20 different ways you can do your lead magnet. We're going to build it in the room. That's what we're going to spend the rest of the afternoon. Okay, I promise we'll take a break to go pee too. Okay? So your lead magnet. And your lead magnet is anything consumable by the person who grabs it. Okay? Your lead magnet. What's the button I gotta press?
The center circle.
Okay? So, again, this is a valuable free giveaway. Now, for those of you that have been frustrated, I've heard it, I've been giving my stuff away for free for too long, and I'm not getting paid enough for it. The issue is not that it's free. The issue is that you don't lead them to what's next. Write that down. The issue is not that it's free. The issue is that you don't bring them to what's next. A lead magnet is worthless. It's a piece of content unless you create a launch around it. You see what I'm saying? Like the steps, right? It's just a piece of content. That's all it is. It doesn't do anything by itself. Is it valuable? Yes. If they opt in and they get that, oh, this is really great. This helped me, do something. But if they're not in the thought process of, I need more from Queen. Okay, I need more from Jean. I need more from Jacqueline. Then it hasn't done its job. Okay? Because after the lead magnet, you need the follow-up. See, here, between this area is follow-up. Between this area is follow-up. Because this is going to move them into an offer. Yes? Oh, you want me to move this? Sure. Can y'all see that? Okay? But here's the thing. This is a circular situation. Okay? Meaning, most times we don't want to go out with the offer right away. Because you haven't given them enough. You haven't proven you're worthy of their wallet. Okay? See, this is again where people get frustrated, stressed out, stop, think I've wasted my money, I'm doing it wrong, all those stories. You can't do it wrong if you're doing this. Because the lead magnet should give you data. Who hates numbers and data? Anybody? Okay. Well, most of you like it, then you should be looking at the data. How many times, how many people have come and opted in? How many people, came to my offer, which could be a webinar, it could be a video series, it could be a live event, right? Let me show you how this works in anybody's model that you follow. Another color operator. So we did a Facebook ad that said, come to Power Week. 7 days to unlock your song. Do you guys remember what it does? I don't remember. I wrote it, but I don't remember. To a lead magnet, which is actually Power Week. What do we do differently than most lead magnets that you see? It was an experience, but how was it a different experience? It was every day. Okay. Live. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, so this is on purpose. It takes a lot of energy out of you. FYI. But was it worth it? I told you guys the stat earlier, 10%, 90% of people coming have never come to a live event with us. Do we have a lot of opportunity in that room? Yes. I tell Lisa, the more she spends time doing this, the less time she's in Slovenia. You know what I mean? It's the last time she's in Slovenia. Traveling the world. Oh, she loves it. She doesn't want to be doing it 300 days a year. Yes. Because I tell her to do Periscope. It's a marketing strategy. She'd love to just jump on, but she's such a busy woman that I literally have to tell her, for the 7 days, can you go on Periscope? So she's built her company where she can have a team that directs her how to market, right? But you should be using live stream offense. In fact, I'm on Periscope right now. Say hi to everyone on Periscope, everyone. Okay, so everyday live. So now, I'm not saying you have to do it like this yet, because you still have smaller followings. But maybe let's say it's a downloadable or it's a book, okay? You want to make sure that, number one, again, the marketing language is very important, but you also need to have a follow-up sequence. Keep them in the conversation until your offer is ready. By the way, your lead magnet also will tell you that your market wants what you plan over here. If you fall on deaf ear, that's why I really believe in doing ads, because you can kill it quick. See, when it's just organic, you're not sure. You're like, I think they like it, and you're hoping they like it, so you're like, yes, 6 people opted in, and it's awesome. Like, when you're first starting, 6 people opted in is a big deal. Like, I have people who, they made their big goal to get 1,000 leads in their system, and I'm like, in 90 days? That's really hard, actually, unless you're doing Facebook ads at a bigger level, okay? So how are you going to do that with your PDF? Well, you just it's the language, and then it's the follow-up. It's saying, because maybe your follow-up, by the way, is not an ongoing email campaign. Maybe your follow-up is a sales call. Maybe your follow-up is, hey, right? You came in, you're interested in this PDF, acknowledge them. I'd love to get your feedback on what you thought. That's a great way to get data, right? Do you mind if we can schedule 15 minutes to talk about what you thought? A lot of people go, yeah. And by the way, the people that you, they're primo prospects for you. Don't ignore them, pour into them, lean in. Because if they respond and say, I'd love to talk, now of course it's your responsibility to manage that time and make the most out of it. But if right now you're going after one-on-one clients, who's going after one-on-one clients? Anybody? 1, 2. What are the rest of 3, 4? Okay, I'm going to tell you 2. Like when you're first starting out and you're not making any money, you should plan on getting one-on-one clients. Because building an online following takes a lot longer. And you know this idea of zigging and zagging, they say when they're zigging, you zag. Well, the thing is that there has been this mad exodus of one-on-one coaching and consulting, right? Because people don't want to do it. Those are people that are tired like I am. Okay? So there's a huge opportunity for new coaches to really pull themselves out, right, Sean? Don't you think? Like, so many people want one-on-one coaching, but a lot of people don't operate anymore. So where are they going to go? So if you are good with people, and I believe I'm good with people, I'm at a different level in my business now. But 3 years ago, I would have been happy to take on clients. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm just saying that, and that's actually how Lisa Nichols came into my life. But now I would say no, if Lisa Nichols came to me, because I want to build other things. So my point is that don't just see, the system says build a lead magnet. Jen Kemp says build an experience, build a funnel. Okay? Then your offer. Your offer can come, the main ones are live events, online events, or an actual like buying a product. So for those of you that sell things on eBay or Amazon or Etsy, that type of thing. So your main three offers are live events, online events, and buying product. Online events look like webinars. They could look like a 3-part video series. They could look like that type of thing. All right. The key is that you are offering something in exchange for something very precious to all of us, which is our personal information. I don't give my email address. In fact, I'm barely on anyone's list anymore. I just had my VA clear out and unsubscribe for hundreds of lists, because I'm like, I don't ever read it, and that type of thing. So people always ask me, are email campaigns still relevant? Absolutely they are. Again, mad exits from email, the ones that remain you see what I'm saying? So it's your job to be powerful in your language, to speak their language, okay? And when you get good at this, and you won't be at first, and you'll also have bad results sometimes. I just shared with you transparently my last webinar, how it tanked. Seriously guys, I was sitting in my office, ready to do the webinar, saw the numbers, and I wanted to cancel it. But I realized, I'm not crybaby. I'm in this business to be, in integrity, and even if only 2 people show up, I'm going to show up. But did I want to quit and say, this ain't worth my time? Yes. That's the truth. I was sitting there, I was like, maybe we should just send out an email and whatever. And my team's like, okay, because they always say, okay. And then I'm like, no. Because business is hard. It doesn't matter. What do I say? If you guys follow me, the hustle is real, the struggle doesn't have to be. Because the hustle is real. Anybody tells you that business is graceful, whatever. And here's the thing. It can be, but it's gritful and graceful, if you will. Like, you take the grace with the grit. The grace comes from the results. Just write that down. The grace doesn't come from chilling or thinking that magical money is going to happen just because you even spend $200 a month and hit it to a lead magnet and an offer. Like, still, you might not get the result. Because you might have to take out your lead magnet. The goal for me today, this afternoon, with you guys, is to pick your highest probable lead magnet for your brand. Who would like that? If I were to review every single one of your lead magnets this afternoon and tell you if I really think it's a winner or not, and are you willing to hear me say it's not?
Yes.
Okay? Cool. I like that part. I'm not going to check that one. So actually I got out because a lot of people didn't like that I said that's not going to work. And I was like, oh, you're not coachable. I get it. Because why would you even ask me if you didn't really want to know? Like, you didn't come here because you're an expert, right? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not an expert in tennis. That's why I have a tennis coach. I used to like it. My dad was big on tennis, and I liked it, but I always sucked. And when my dad passed away, I was like, that's something I want to bring up again. But I'm not really good, so I have a tennis coach, right? It's the same thing, okay? So, and do I like when he's like, your backhand is poor? I'm like, really? Rude. But then I'm like, no, my backhand is poor. I'm hitting the net every single time, or I'm missing it. Seriously, I'm poor, my backhand's horrible. Just put it that way. And it doesn't stings a little bit, but I'm grateful, right? So if, again, if we're being a little hard on you, just know it's because we want you to win. So let me tell you what to expect. Okay, if you follow that process I just gave you, let's say you have $500 in Facebook ads. scale you could expect to have is? Do you guys remember? $2. So how many leads will I get out of $500? 250 leads. Because here's the other thing you gotta get, guys. Marketing is math. Marketing is actually less about being creative and it's more about math. Correct. Someone who opts into your offer, your lead magnet. So you've done the ad, you're driving into a lead magnet of some type. So you can expect around 250 or less. So I'm not going to say, oh, you could have more. The truth is, when you're first ad, you might have less. You're more likely to have yes, unless you have the dopest copy ever, which is possible if you hire a copywriter, right? I'm just saying, this is your average. Let's focus our expectations around it could be less. But let's say 250. Okay, so $2 an hour. Okay? Of that, what do you have to do when you pull them into your offer, which is a live event, an online event, or buying a product? So what percentage can you expect from that? So your conversion rate. Okay? So so this is your lead magnet, and then there's kind of like offer 1 and offer 2. Okay, let's use a webinar, for example, because I think it's easier. Is that okay with you guys? Because there are different scenarios. Okay, offer 1 is your webinar. So you're offering these 250 leads. They've opted in to your webinar. How many will show up? No. If you get 10%, you have an excellent conversion. Okay, so what's 10% of 250? 25 people. You guys see this? Offer 2 is on the webinar. What are you offering for sale? Right? What do you think your conversion rate is here? Have you guys heard the industry standard? 1 to 3%? If we use 2%, how many people are going to buy your product? 25 people, 2% of 25?
Half a person.
Not one even person.
Negative.
Okay, so this is what we call the levers. You guys write this down. The levers of the funnel. You have to focus on the area that your weakest at and use that lever next. See how you're testing, right? You gotta do this. See where you're at and then pick the lever to test again. That stresses people out. But if you don't do it, you have no baseline. You're throwing spaghetti at the wall. And you got to go through this entire process end to end so you can see where you stand. Okay? So if, for example, $500 is not enough, then you need to come up your budget. Okay? If it's more like you killed it on Facebook ads, meaning like you got 250, not less, and they converted at more than 10%, you're good here. This is looking good. But here, you made no sales. It's your script. That's the problem. You got to see where your problem is, but you got to run the process through a couple times to make sure that you know where your areas of true weakness are. Some people aren't good at making offers, right? Yes. I don't follow you. Tell me, explain more. Well, offer one's your webinar, so you converted them to be right. This is free. This is the webinar. Okay, so I'm gonna make it real for you guys. Okay, you want to see real numbers from a real launch? So this is, remember who played the Brand Story Challenge? to what? What's next when you play the BSC? What do I bring you to next? Paid to be you. So the Paid to be you workshop is my free, it's my first offer. Okay? On the Paid to be you workshop, then I offer what? Master Brand, right? Master Brand? Oh no, it ain't free. No, it's not free. This is my offer. Let me tell you what my percentages are. I get like $1.11 per lead on that campaign. Paid to be why I got over 37% attendance. That's like remarkable, but it's because of all the engagement I have in the BSC. Okay? So if I knew we had a problem. We had it at Lisa's company and a couple other companies that I consult for. Webinar registrations are going down as an industry period. Webinar registrations are going down. So I knew that the only way to overcome that was to kill it up here. Like I needed to really go, is it worth your time to come to my webinar? Because there's 1,000 webinars happening daily, right? So I knew I had to set myself apart. That's why the BSC is so high. I could just, see, this is how people play small. I want you guys to play bigger, okay? They'll follow the system. Oh, Jen told us to build a challenge. 7 days, I'm gonna build a challenge, write the emails. I'm gonna send them out. I'm gonna mention it a few times on social media. That's following the system. But if you wanna like break the system in a good kind of way, like break the internet kind of way, then you gotta put more on it. You gotta put some heat on it. You gotta put some Sunday stuff. You need some hot fudge, caramel, nuts, cherries, all of that. Like that's how the players play. And then what happens is, then they can start getting, I'm going to call it lazy, it's not really lazy, but they've earned their right not to be so heavy-handed in the front. Does that make sense? You got to earn your right into evergreen. Do you guys know what evergreen means? See, a lot of people, it makes me mad. I hope you're listening on Periscope. It makes me mad when people are like, just pop your thing into evergreen and make instant money overnight. Okay. Like, that's such a lie. Okay? You don't want to go evergreen first. Evergreen means that someone can come into your funnel and buy something at any time in the launch plan. And I'm all for it, but most people earn their way there by doing the harder work up front, which is testing their market. Okay? Are you guys following me on this? Okay. So
when you see you're saying, you put more into it, you talk about action or
I created a group. Why did I create a group? Because of the coaching I gave Jennifer earlier. Most people don't want to tell their story because they're afraid they're going to get judged. And I found that out by asking, how come you're not telling your story enough? You know that's what helps sell your brand. Honestly, I hate being judged. I don't want anybody to know yet. I'm feeling scared that people are going to, oh, okay. So I created a group that's completely secret unless you're in the challenge on purpose. Although I tell people, do it publicly so that you can just get your money. Most people try it out first and do it inside the group so they can get their legs, wet. They're like, oh, now I feel confident because they're getting all this feedback from the other players like, wow, your story's inspiring. Wow, I love what you're doing. And they're like, wow, I really have the guts now to go for it. I did that because I asked my clients, what's keeping you from putting yourself out there? Oh, I think no one cares about my story. Or my story's a little bit radical. I'm afraid. Okay? So that's why I did it. I followed the system that Nicole mentioned to you earlier. I didn't want to do it. To be honest, I said that's just a lot of work for me. And so when I said I didn't know if I had time for it, because I always want to serve my clients. Like what you see, like what they don't call me generosity for nothing, right, with the J, is because I truly love to give. But you notice that my giving pays off for me because I follow this. See, like, I know a lot of people that are like, Jen, you give so much away, but you still get paid. So you can give, but you have to be strategic, and you have to execute along the way. And you have to be willing to try again. Okay, and I like to say this, try 3 times before you give up. Because you're always perfecting, I hate the word perfecting, I'm going to take that back. You're always optimizing the levers
20 minutes.
Perfect.
23, actually.
Okay. Yes.
What happened to the 27% down to our master brand?
Oh, I'm sorry to tell you how much my conversion was. 7%. She's a best friend, so.
What is the incentive? Is it the license and the Facebook ad? What got people to just say, what
So that was my lead magnet, right? Was the Brand Story Challenge. So my lead magnet was the BSC. So now you knew about me, but most people who play the BSC do not know me because I paid for ads, and that's on purpose because I already know my trap's gonna come in. That's easy. I already have a list. Well, not everybody's complained, by the way, too. I have 40,000 people on that list, and only about 9,000 of them are responsive that even open my emails. So even when I say, like, Lisa has 200,000, I have 40. It's more about who cares. Like, you know, I know that 8,000 kind of care because of my average open rate in my emails. But so then a majority of them don't buy. Because every cycle of master brand, I get between 100 and 150 new students at $1,500 to $1,800 a pop, which by the way is pretty good because that's $200,000, right? So, BSC was my magnet. That's my point. Well, because let me try to remember what I wrote. Basically, it was, you know, something like, are you telling the story of your brand or something like that? Like, you know, what's keeping you from telling the story of your brand? Join us in the Brand Story Challenge.
It was a lot of it too was the way you have all of us tag our things. Because I had like 5 or 6 people going just because of my community.
Right. So that right there is a tactic during the challenge. It's engagement during the challenge. The entry point, so you're right, new people popped on. This is last time. I allowed people to come in all the way to last day. The old Brand Story Challenge, if you didn't sign up by the day it started, I cut you out. You could not join the group, you could not get the emails. That was on purpose, it was strategy. Then I got all these requests. Can I come in? I just found out about it because I saw somebody posting. I changed my strategy. I listened and I changed the lever in my funnel. I let them come in, and as a result of that, I had more players. So you gotta try one thing first. You learn, you adapt like a chameleon, right? And then you go and try the next thing. Yes.
On that second step, where if you have
If there is, you have one ad with copy on it, and you're looking at the metrics, do you switch copy in the middle of, you just let it play on out, even if there's...
Well, in Facebook ads, there are different ad sets. So you're going to test one first, then when you get more advanced, you can test 2. Okay, and you can test 3, but you don't want to change copy midstream on one ad that's performing, or else you lose all of that. And I kill it. If it's not performing, it's dead. I just stop running. I hit stop on the Facebook ad. I just don't let it run. If I start seeing it going above $2, that's my threshold for me because I do a lot. I just kill it. If another one, if you got 2 ads, 2 of them are at the same time going out to the target markets, and you start seeing one CPL going down and one staying where it is, you kill this one. Bye. Okay, keep going. Then you put more. Take the money you work with, put it into here, and keep going. Okay. You are being charged every time they click on the ad. That's why you want to make sure the targeting is right. That's why you want to get somebody to do it for you. Generally speaking, unless again you want to learn out. If you're one of those DIYers, really good for you. But I don't do it myself. I know how it works. So I can have a very good conversation with my team. A very educated conversation with my team on the metrics and what's performing. But I don't actually like set up the ad sets and do all that. I just give direction on the copy, the graphics, and then I know what my threshold is. And they already know they're empowered to run my ads unless it hits a threshold. And I used to do it where like at over $2 they have to check in with me. No, I just kill them. I just tell them to kill them and then they just go. And I trust that they understand my system of how I think when I strategize. That's a dance class kind of thing. Just know that you want to stay under 2. Okay? Generally speaking. You might peak higher because here's the other thing, Facebook rewards advertisers. So the more you advertise, the lower your CPL is going to get, like as a general thought process. Just like anywhere. Like, you know, if you constantly invest in coaching with me, or we give you incentives because you're investing, right? It's the same thing. Facebook does the same thing. Okay? Do you guys see this? So Tobe, with your budget from earlier, I know it wasn't, we're going to go ahead and we're going to build something around this. Because here's the thing. At 10% as an average and 1 to 3% as an average, you only have less than 1 person. So how do you get to more? You might have to spend more. Because what would you get if you didn't have $1,000? You get about 3 clients, right? 2 or 3. Don't let that depress you. If you don't do it now, you're never going to do it. There's no such thing as overnight success. I've earned money, but I've recovered every single penny and more. Okay? Some of you are already in deficit by investing in 14K, right? Okay? But is this valuable information? So that if you know, because I'm going to tell you, to be honest with you, again, I'm going to call it out. People might not like me, especially those people in the internet marketing world. But it's easier to teach you just the system and not tell you the context around that's what's really happening, so you can track yourself and keep getting frustrated quick. What I'm telling you and encouraging you to do, I can't force your hand, is do this. Be willing to invest. Be willing to only get 1 client so you can learn more and get 1,000. Because you're not going to go from 0 to 1,000 without doing this. So you might as well do this. Does that make sense? Put all your money into this for marketing. I'm going to be super serious. Into this and a team that can help you implement it, and you will sell your products.
This is really great. What should be in the ad on Facebook?
Okay, so let's do your lead magnet first. Because here's the thing, remember? Begin with the what? So this is your end. Master Brand is my end. Everything I worked backwards. My ad eventually speaks to the psyche of the seeker who will buy this. I'm mindful of that. That's why I asked you guys what products you have. If you don't have a product, I'd like you to try one that you kind of want to do. Because you might as well try it out. Because you're never going to find out. You heard the term sell the product before you even created it? Okay? I say sell the product before you've optimized it. Okay? You have a product already, it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's amazing. If you haven't built one yet, you have a unique opportunity to use marketing to make more money because you've not put a lot of money into your product yet. How many people spend thousands of dollars building their products and services, right? It's not that you've wasted it. Now you've got to turn this engine on. It's time to do this. This is where you need to repoint your focus. You have a product, you're done. I showed Jennifer earlier how she can monetize her book and her 2 programs right here. Just using this. Okay? It's time to turn the marketing on. Because, all you have to do is have a bottom line what you want to do. You don't need to build the whole thing out. You need to use the steps that Nicole taught you, like those steps. You don't need to build up the entire product yet. You know your methodology. Sell your methodology. You don't need to sell them the program yet. You guys get this? You're selling the methodology. They don't even need to know what's all up in it. If you're good at marketing it, and I'm not saying that to be non-integrity, so you're going to save some money knowing what's sold, so then you put the money into optimizing it in the product suite. You guys get that? You guys see that?
Ask a question if you're lost. Ask a question.
Okay, I'm going to tell you this. I'll give you an example. Master Brand used to be $3,750. You could buy it speak and write 3 years ago. People bought it. A lot of people bought it. We're pretty good at enrollment here. And we're proud of that because we believe in what we do. But MB is now 1,500 to 1,800. I swear to God, I want you guys to see a real example because it helps, okay? But you get way more than the people paid 3 years ago. And that's no joke. They got 4 calls, half an hour with me, and 5 modules. That's it. But it was working that program. This was the first time I released it to the general public because it used to be a methodology that I only sold as a consultant to big companies. I go in, I work with their teams. That's how Master Brand began. But when entrepreneurs asked me for it, I kind of simplified it. And as I worked with those students, they had amazing results. People like Zenobia Andrews, TJ Mercer. I mean, so many people that you see today out there were Master Brand students, and their GO peers, right? Is because I figured out, they need all these steps. Okay. And that's why when I changed it, and then I started selling it at a lower price so more people can get it. But I had to learn that. Even though I'm a master marketer, unapologetically, I need to learn that. And we learned that with 14K. Why are you guys here, right, Sean? Literally, at Powerhouse, we had a belief in mind to build this program. But we didn't execute it because we got hung up with a lot of other things. Motivated Masters is a lot in the world. And it was wait a minute, our people, who's our highest level client? GL peers. So we really take their feedback, right? And they said, we need a bridge to GLP. We need the on-ramp, right? And we've been talking about doing it for a year, but honestly, we just got too busy. And building a product is an investment. But we were nope, the seeker has spoken. And therefore, we're going to create it. I'm going to create it. Now you guys are here. We didn't know if it was going to work at Powerhouse. We knew the seeker. See, we were betting on your guys' words. You need to start betting more on their words and what they need, not betting on what you think they need. Yes.
Juicy. I have to add this.
Yeah.
So,
Please.
this is my own.
Both Sean and Nicole, you guys jump in at any time.
So, here's the thing you guys have to understand. Everything Jen is saying is really yummy. However, if you never get your program out, you'll never know how to tweak it. So release perfection and get done. And then when you put it out there, here's the thing. Never take time to know what you're doing.
Yes.
But guess what? You don't know what you're doing. And it's okay. There's people that value, and then you can say, I upgraded it. So, full disclosure, my first group didn't get what y'all get now. Because I didn't know what I didn't know. And I've been doing it so long that I teach way up here sometimes, so I had to break it down. It took me about 4 times to do a group program, and now I was doing here 14K to get what you needed. Does that make sense? So my clients before didn't know the value. Jasmine, I teach concept to you like this, did I? No. She was my client before I realized that I need to teach from my system instead of just doing it. Now I teach from my system. Does that make sense? I have a system, but I never showed her my system. I just taught from it. So you learn by doing. I just have to say that because what Jen is showing you right now is you guys are not a normal class. We'll never have a first again. And 14K will never look like this again. Not in a bad way, but we learn. And now we see what you guys need. And so there's nothing they'll get more than you. No. They're going to get what they need. Right. But getting in a different kind of way. That's why I love that Reed came up to me at the break and said, I'm glad you guys went to the 90 minute. Because we realized, listening to your comments, that we need to put it in the middle. You see what I'm saying? So we're making changes on the fly. But we would have never known to change if we would have never started. I just had to say that.
No, that's great.
So many people hold up their product and quote, they're trying to make it perfect. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be the very thing your clients will need.
Right. Your marketing's not going to be perfect. Your product's not going to be perfect. You're not going to be perfect. Get over it. You're not perfect. Right. I know. I have a hard time with it too, to be honest with you. But I get proof a lot that I'm not, so I'm starting to listen. Yes.
Okay. On the previous board, where my side, on the previous board where we listed our programs, you stated that none of that was good.
She didn't say nothing. You said nothing. I'm rephrasing.
Oh, I'm sorry. So the what you're saying? I didn't say it wasn't good. I said it.
I'm rephrasing.
It's vanilla. It's vanilla. Well, it's all good. Do you okay with vanilla? And I'm get you okay with down.
So what I want to know is how do we make that better? So when I spend my money on my Facebook ad,
system. Okay? So we've got a break coming up in what?
8 minutes.
And then we're going to come back with me, right, Nicole, and do the exercise. Okay, 8 minutes. We got 8 minutes. Okay, great. Let's go through this. So we're going to create your lead magnet after our break. So let's talk about how to do that. Y'all ready? Okay. So there's 3 steps. This is for the lead magnet now. Y'all remember in the process. Let's go deep. We're going deep. We're going deep up in here. We're going deep. Right here. I'm going underneath just this right now. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about this. Just worry about this. Got it? Okay? There are 3 steps to building a lead magnet. This is going to help curate some of the copy as well for you. Okay? So the first is, what is your content and offer of the lead magnet? The second piece is, what is the delivery mechanism of the lead magnet? I'm going to show you what that means in a minute. And the third is leading with the end in mind. So we've already talked about that, but with the lead magnet specifically, there's a lead with the end in mind concept that I want you guys to get. All right? So under the content and offer piece of this system, okay, there are 3 questions. There are 2 questions, rather, that you need to ask. So what are the 3 questions you are constantly asked when people find out about you, whether it's online, networking events, whatever? Okay? And then, what are your audience pain or desire points? Now, we've talked about this over and over. Speaker, ideal client. All 3 of us have this process around audience and how to get paid from your audience but the concept is the same. Desires and pain points. Desires and pain points. And their highest desire and their highest pain point should be your lead magnet. Back to the rule of 60% or greater that I talked about with Jennifer. Don't worry about the other stuff they're up to. You'll fix that with your program. You'll be a solution for them with your program. You need to focus on what do 60% of your market say their common denominator is around why they don't have what they want. Whatever that is. A beautiful body, under their terms, more money, help me not get divorced from my husband, let me be a better parent, let me get my kids into college, the right college, whatever that is, what's that common denominator of 60%? That goes into the creation of your content and offer. Again, I'm going to use a real example because I think it's easier. You guys get this? So, Brand Story Challenge. My top 3 questions was, I don't know how to tell good stories. Or, I have a great story. Y'all have a great story? You guys come to the side, right? Come to the side of us. I gotta tell you about my story. My story is life-changing, right? And I'm like, it is. But I'm like, you don't know how to monetize your story. Right? So, top 3 questions. I have a great story, but I don't know how to make money. Which also looks at the story as your program. My book. Here's my story in a book. I can't sell books. Well, I was telling you, your book is not what you want to sell. You can give that away. Okay, but anyway. But it drives me crazy because I love you. Other people come to me and tell me that you have the best book on the planet. It's like, I know it's good. You took the effort to do it. Obviously, it's good. The question is, how's it going to make me money? Because I know you're not just being a writer or an author to just be a writer or author. It costs money to produce a book, right? You want more people to read it. That's why you write it for yourself. Otherwise, that's called a journal. Some people write journals. They're not writing real books because they don't want to market and sell them. Okay? So, and I swear, I'm not trying to mock people. Like, when they come to me, I'm like, oh, you don't do marketing. You don't market. Because your book is a product. It's a product. It's also a lead magnet. It could be a lead magnet for you. Download. Sean talked about work the system with Sam Carpenter. Sam Carpenter uses his book as a lead magnet on his site. You can get the entire book in PDF. But what does he know? Guess what he knows? What does he know? Well, yes, he's a king of systems, but 2 things. One is, most people don't want to print out 300 pages. Right. So they'll read it, but they're like, I really need to bookmark, underline, whatever. So they go to Amazon and he sent them what? A follow-up. I hope you enjoyed the book. If you want the hardcover copy, it's only $12 something at Amazon. Here's the link. Boom, he sold more books. Number two, see, he didn't give the book away just because he's nice. He is nice. He's the follow-up. The second thing is he has a program now. Somebody got to me before you, Nicole, to create a system that people can take called Work the System. Like you can take a program to teach you how to systemize your business.
Which, by the way, when you have a book and you don't have something to upsell them to, you're missing an opportunity.
Right. Your book itself is a program now because if you can take the chapters in your book, but you can also take the chapters in your book and create your what? Lead magnet. Okay, I'm going to use this as an example. Jennifer has this book called 12 Ways to Put Money in Your Pocket Every Month Without a Part-Time Job. Okay? Let's create a lead magnet out of this. So the first thing is that I think you should give away the book for free PDF, just like Sam Carpenter. But first, you're going to tell them, this is a good headline. 12 ways to put money in your pocket every month without a part-time job. That's marketing.
Right.
So that's your lead magnet. Download the 12 steps to put money in your pocket every month without a part-time job. You can do the entire book PDF and then give a follow-up and say, buy my book now. Or you could do 6. You could do a challenge. I have a 16 challenge that will show you how to put money in your pocket every month without a part-time job. Now you have another type of lead magnet. Okay? Or you can take the first, what's the most powerful chapter in here, Jennifer? Like seriously, like when you think about your speaker. Cell phones? What number is that? Okay, so you're going to give away that instead. How your cell phone is making you money or not making you money?
The chapter tells you to go to your cell phone bill.
Okay, so that's the info. Okay, no, but my point is that your cell phone is right.
By $50 to $100 per month.
Right.
That's how money comes back every month.
So I wouldn't even say all that. What I would say is, let me show you a secret trick that can earn you over $100 back every month using your cell phone.
Right.
Everybody knows their cell phone. We live by our mobile. I hope you wrote that down because that's what makes money. Right? Don't mention bills. You don't need to mention any of that. You just gotta say, let me show you a secret, crazy trick I do every month to put an additional $100 in my pocket using my cell phone. No sales involved, no tricks involved, no whatever.
Right. That's good.
Would you guys want to know? Using my cell phone?
Right.
I'm thinking, oh, it's money, but now you also crack open entrepreneurs. You got entrepreneurs because they think it's a money-making tactic.
Yep.
It's not, but you're saving the money. Now you're like, I'm the money expert. You want me to show you, I don't teach you how to make money, I teach you how to keep money.
Right. Right. That's good. Write that down. But hurry up.
Right?
That's good.
So I just showed you 3 ways you can create a lead magnet after what you got. And that leads to the program that you want to sell.
time.
Because that right there could be leading to the debt management. You can lead into a webinar, which is your offer to, right? That talks about the 6 steps in the money process. Or like, I don't have another one I wrote down.
I did forget.
Because you're an alchemist, so you need to have words like transform, breakthrough, that type of thing. Where's my notes for you? Anyway, I'll tell you after. But the way that a marketer thinks is they think like that. Because we're consumers, we consume a lot. We have too much on our minds. Show me something easy. Show me something easy that's powerful for me. That'll make a huge difference in my life. Because you talked about women. Think about it. Women are your avatar. They are looking for ways to keep their money.
Right.
You know? So, audience pain and desire points. You see how like I created, you guys talked about questions about copy and dialogue. speak, like, sometimes what I do is just, people think that sometimes Nicole will call me she'll go, Kelly, I need a tagline, or I need a name for my webinar, or whatever, right? And I'm like, sometimes I really can't come up with it right away, but I just have to sit with it for a moment. I actually play solitaire to clear my mind to get taglines. It's one of my secrets. Just play solitaire. And it just comes to me. And like, my whole point is like, that's what you gotta do. You gotta think of, you gotta sit with it. Don't overthink it. Journal it. All kinds of ways that what are the top 3 questions you're asking me? I wanna get out of debt. I want to help, I'm part of the sandwich generation. I don't know how to take care of my mother and my child. I want to buy my first home. I don't know. I don't know what your 3 are, but what are they? So when we go into break, this is a working break. Go handle your biological needs, for sure, I am. And, but what are your 3 questions, and what is your audience's highest pain point that you know of right now? You don't know. See, you probably haven't done the focus groups and all that, but we need to work with something. Don't get stuck on like, oh, I don't know yet. We got to work with something. So get your highest probable thought process that you think you know. See, testing what you think you know is going to identify who your seeker is too.
Right.
Okay? You guys get that? I didn't want to like drive by. Right? So you've got to test it. So even this right here, this will help in your focus group. You could go bring it and say, hey, so I'm looking for feedback on, the conversations about debt. And you need to plant it in your focus group. The conversation I want to have is around debt, your feelings around debt, what comes up around, for you when you're talking about debt. What are your biggest questions to get out of debt? There you got your marketing copy.
Right.
Right? Just use their words. Okay? So we're at break time?
-5.
All right. So let's take a 15-minute break? Is that what we're doing?
10. 10. Yeah.
So what time do they have to be back?
3:45.
3:45 in your seats to build out your lead magnets. Y'all excited?